Our next presentation is a youth panel discussion, and the moderator and host is Isaac Gass, Rutgers University alumnus, and he is the youth relations for Somaliland mission in the U.S. Members of the panel are two of them. You have heard from Gary Lee the presentation about the Varsity School of Science and Technology. They are alumni of that school at Samuel Adden, who now is an undergraduate student at Harvard, and Mubarak Mahmoud, who is an undergraduate student at MIT. Also in the panel is Faiza Ali, graduate student at the University of Belmont, and Hamdi Abdi, who is also a graduate student at George Mason University. Please give welcome. Yours.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the conference organizing committee, thank you for coming out to day 2 of the conference and celebrations. Assalamu alaikum. It's our second conference for Somaliland here in the U.S., our first one being back in 2012. Wow, it's been 4 years, and Somaliland sure has progressed since then. While many of our other Somaliland societies worldwide are celebrating by celebrations, it is a great honor to be celebrating by putting together a conference to discuss ideas. As Eleanor Roosevelt, the wife of one of my favorite U.S. presidents, FDR, would say, great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, while small minds discuss people. I feel as though we are the great minds that Eleanor Roosevelt talked about. Along with this being the second conference, we were able to incorporate our second youth panel as well. Much thanks to Ambassador Rashid and the organizing committee for letting this happen. Somaliland is now at the crossroads of its 25th Independence Day, or Liberation Day, if you will, as many would call it. On this day, let's not forget the brave hearts, the Somaliland National Movement that put their lives on the line for us to celebrate this day and celebrate continued years of peace, prosperity, and development. We are forever indebted to their sacrifices. The youth have a major part to play in all aspects of Somaliland. They are said to make up 70% of the population. Although we see our youth doing well back home, many of them graduating from universities, being a part of developmental and social organizations, having positions in government and the private sector. Thank you. It is our responsibility as well to combat the issues of high youth unemployment, the migration crisis, which causes a brain drain and a loss of human capital. If we are here in the diaspora proposing ideas such as private and public sector cooperation, creating economically sound projects that focus on key sectors such as health, education, and infrastructure, we could see youth unemployment go down by a whole lot. We could advocate to tailor our educational curriculum to our national development goals. Dr. Saad, he's not with us today, but he created a 4-year national development plan, which really is something helpful to the country. This will help us with innovation, self-sustainability, making us more competitive in the global economy as well as the region. These projects, along with other entrepreneurial ideas and investments, can help us with sustainable development, economic growth, both short-term and long-term, and poverty reduction. Our panelists today are covering a wide array of backgrounds that are key to helping the development and progression of Somaliland. They will elaborate further on many of these topics. Many of us being first-generation Somali Americans, we must remember the opportunities we have here. Access to great education, access to resources to help our personal development, as well as being a productive economy that supports entrepreneurship. Whatever it is that we do here, if you work hard, the opportunities are endless. So, while we work hard and develop ourselves throughout our lifetime, let us not forget our obligations and our moral responsibility back home. The youth here must try their best to maintain a connection with their motherland to help it grow in a positive direction. There are many ways we can help and get involved, either by starting organizations here that will help the progression and development back home, or even taking part in initiatives when we visit, such as volunteer programs and internships. It is great to see my old boss here. I have to actually I had the pleasure of interning at the Ministry of Finance back in summer 2012 and summer 2013. First year was as a financial analyst intern, and second year working with the Somaliland Development Fund. These internships and volunteer programs are a great way to exchange of knowledge and ideas. We could also look into potential business and entrepreneurial ideas that would help Somaliland's development and tackle problems such as youth unemployment, migration. Since many of us are well connected here in the U.S., we could even use our networks to help foster foreign direct investment to Somaliland on resources such as long-distance learning. We now live in a globalized world, and technology has made us even more interconnected than before. There should be no excuse in taking part in positive initiatives to help Somaliland. As the youth, both in the diaspora and back home, we are the future generation. Due to having more opportunity here in the diaspora, it is our moral responsibility to keep communication with our youth counterparts back home. To make communication and engagement more meaningful, we must also strive to learn the language. As Nelson Mandela would say, if you talk to a man in his language, he understands it, that goes to his head. But if you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the panelists. We're going to start off with Muwadi Hamoud. He's actually an undergraduate student at MIT studying electrical engineering and computer science. And also is an alumni of Abaso class of 2013, as Henry mentioned earlier. So Muwadi, welcome.